Okay, so starting off, should we just address what happened? Why this is coming out a day later?
Yes, let's address the elephant in the room.
I wanted to make a joke out of that, but we didn't fuck up. I hit my head and then it ruined the mic. I was plugging in the laptop because it was going to die on me because I forgot to plug it up and I hit my head on the mic and then there was a buzzing for half an hour and I didn't catch it.
And
So
you were blaming Elfie yesterday. How dare you?
My cat was over here messing with shit. Why wouldn't I blame her? And then I went back and listened to the recording and I heard, ow, my head. Bzzz. So I'm like, yeah, it was me. Can't blame the cat on that one. I got it recorded.
All right, there we go. Yesterday was technical difficulties. Me was with my camera. You was with your microphone.
Yeah, it was a comedy of errors.
Yep.
But here we go. Recording number 2, Electric Boogaloo. We got this. Oh, God. Let's hope this one works out. I've already forgotten everything I said, so maybe today will be more interesting, more fun.
Yay!
Do you want to re-catch up after we caught up? How about this? Instead of saying, what have you done? I'm wondering, is Destiny your primary game now, or are you still playing the slime game and stuff?
I'm still playing the slime game. It's more... I'm at the point where I just passively play it. I set it to auto play and get like the special characters and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's not really conscious. I don't listen to this. I don't pay attention to the story anymore.
It's just
farm
like a
materials.
daily thing you do.
Yeah, basically, something to keep my mind off of shit. Whereas Destiny's my actual activity and calm down and stuff like that.
Calm down. It's a good way to put it. That game calms me down.
Well, it does. I take my aggressions out on the fake little aliens.
Fair enough. Until we keep failing over and over trying to get something, and then finally finish it with 3 seconds left.
Oh my god!
That still kills me how close that was.
Oh my! And now that we talk about that again, I don't know if you guys heard or not. I'm pretty sure I said towards the end, "Don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die."
Yes, I heard that too. And you're saying that while I'm like, please don't hit me while I'm socking him in the chest. Don't spit out your coffee.
Oh my god.
Because he kept doing the fucking scythe slam and like suppressing us and pushing us back, so I'm like, I can't run to him and I have no ammo, so I'm just punching him.
Oh my god.
And those missions that have like the timers that really stress you out are the most fun, it seems like, too, because there's been a couple in the past that do the same thing that gave you exotics as well that have that time limit, and it's like a gauntlet trying to get through it to have enough time at the end to beat the boss. Like when Whisper of the Worm, I don't know if you've seen that sniper in the monuments thing that you can take your cipher and purchase it at in the tower. To get that before, it was like a Taken mission kind of thing on IO.
Okay.
A certain enemy would spawn, and then it would say something like in the bottom left how it gives you all like the action updates and stuff.
Yeah.
It would say like something appeared or the seams between the worlds weaken or something like that, and you run into a cave and you find a portal. You jump in through the portal and it takes you somewhere else, and you have to run through this gauntlet of stuff like that's on a ledge of a cliff and shit's pushing you through or trying to push you off, and you have to run through that. I think it was within like 10 minutes as well, and get to the end and beat this boss, which has specific mechanics, and then you get the weapon.
Right.
That's basically what we did for this mission too, but it started way back when. So the fact that they're still putting out missions like this is fun, but they're always so few and far between.
I think it would get overplayed if they tried to do it often, but because I didn't. Granted, this is my there's been a major gap between when I first started playing and now.
Yeah, the Whisper of the Worm probably came out it hit when you were playing at the time, is my guess.
But I wasn't as heavy of a player then as I am now.
Right.
So I probably wouldn't have done it either way, because I think at that point I was just doing story missions and Vanguard missions with Callie's dad.
Right. And whereas I think you missed Trevor.
Trevor?
So that was for another exotic. I think that was for Outbreak Prime. It's a killer robot you were in a maze and you're trying to get through it, and this robot's basically stalking you, and if it sees you, it makes a beeline to you and kills you instantly.
Oh, fuck.
And it was like jump scare kind of horror stuff, trying to get through the maze. And of course he makes his own noise, so when he sees you and he's coming after you, you hear the noise getting louder as he's chasing you down the hallway.
Oh, fuck. and I was shitting my pants when the Tormentor was following us, let alone... that would have been fun.
But yes, I'm proud of us. We got the exotic. Now we got to jump in and get Tier 7 deep dives again. Get the catalyst.
What I do need to do, though, because the thing that, and I'm not really complaining, yes and no, but prior to us getting into, you guys getting me into Destiny again, my main game was Dreamlight, and I really like the start path, and I haven't done any of the things, and the way they set it up is, you know how before it was easy to clear the start path, no problem, they give you a whole bunch of points and do everything in one shot?
Yeah.
They broke it up. So now the hour hangout times are intervals of like 15, 30, 45 minutes. Two of the tasks that Callie has told me about is clearing 25 night thorns, a whack. And she actually got one because she plays the star path for me just because if she has free time during the day, she'll do the task for me because I'm realizing how close I am getting to the day. She came across one that was 40 night thorns. I'm like, holy shit.
Do they even respawn in a day? Like once you clear them for the day, they're gone, right?
Right. I think the game spawns like 20 a day or something like that. But you don't know where it's going to spawn. So as soon as I heard they
20
had...
is nothing.
Huh?
20 is like nothing, too.
Pretty much. So when Callie told me that there were tasks like that, I'm like, fuck, I'm not clearing any more night thorns until the star path is done.
I'm going to let it get overgrown.
Pretty much. But, yeah.
Yeah, sorry for putting Destiny on you.
No, it's okay. I knew what I was getting myself into. Problem is I get addicted to games, and I got two different addictions I have to...
better when we have people to play with. Like, the game is fun solo, but now that we have a solid 3-man team that we run everything with, it's so much more fun.
Oh, absolutely. Like, you can only pick so many flowers and shit like that. I'm like... Whereas you
gotta get back to playing, oh, fuck. I just lost the name of the game. What is it? Harvest Moon. There we go.
Oh, fuck, no.
Aw.
I played it for nostalgic purposes, but I'm not going to get myself back into that. Sorry, no.
Okay. Your father will be there for you later.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh, if you like those games, you should not play Stardew Valley.
Why does that sound familiar? Isn't that one of the games that they showed on one of the... Fuck. One of the recent showcases?
No, this game has been out for a while. But it's a very popular game.
What the hell am I thinking of?
Fae Farm, probably, since that was the most recent one.
Yes, okay. Yeah, no, don't get me involved in that.
Because if you like Harvest Moon, you'll definitely like Stardew. But I'm warning you, it's a time sink in the best way.
Geez.
It's so good. It's a nice slice of life game, but it has action elements. It's cute.
Oh, and talking about like slice of life type of shit. If you haven't gotten to that point, some of the new missions from this recent update on Dreamlight are time specific. Like, I'm not talking about evening, dawn, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. It's a specific time. Like, they say you have to be on
like
at
between
this
2
time.
and 4 or something like that.
Oh no, exactly at that time.
Gross. No, thank you.
At that point, I was like, as soon as I got that message, I'm like, hey, dear.
It's a game, not my job. No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, dear, my ass isn't going to be here. Can you do this for me?
Well, at least you have backup for that.
Very true.
Meg's back on Power Wash, so there's no way she's getting on Dreamlight. Oh, we got all... Did I already say we got all the achievements in the SpongeBob DLC?
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Damn, that was quick.
Everything. It was a short DLC. There was 1, 2, 3, 5 different levels with a handful of things to clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
But even then, didn't the DLC just come out like last week or something?
Yeah, that's it.
Damn.
But I mean, all you're doing is just you're power washing shit. That's all the game is. It's nice and relaxing.
I want to see how that would play on like VR, to be honest.
It'd probably be really easy. Like that would translate really well to VR if they don't have it. Oh, now I gotta look up if they're gonna do it or not because that would fit too well. I know that they're focused on putting out some other DLCs of theirs like throughout the rest of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have a free update coming out that I forget the name of it. They gave it some kind of name for their little story mode that they're putting out.
Yeah.
And then right after that, they're doing the Warhammer. I almost said Warframe. Warhammer 40K DLC.
Yep. Yep, I remember talking about that. And we were wondering how they were going to do that. What, they're going to have like an army walk by while you're power washing the grime off their suits?
Yeah, all I know is like the Space Marine armor. Like,
Yeah.
what more could they put in there to clean off? But I haven't immersed myself in Warhammer, so I don't know. I know that there's vehicles and other types of aliens and shit, but what do I know?
You'll wait and see.
Power Wash Simulator is on VR
No, okay.
on the Oculus Quest. So there you go.
It's
It'd be really odd if it wasn't, though. That makes so much sense.
right. If it wasn't, it's probably one of those, oh shit, why didn't we think of it type of idea.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Good for them. Well,
Okay.
talking about DLC,
Are we getting into it? Because we haven't introed the show yet.
Oh yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, yeah, what were you about to say? I'm curious.
Well, no, we were we're talking about DLC. The boys coming to Call of Duty.
Okay, so we're not going to start from the top. Got it.
It was a good segue. When
That's fair. No,
I saw
you're
my
good.
shot and I took it.
That's fine. Let's just intro this so that way we can get to it. This is Ramblepack Podcast. Okay, you do it. The Ramblepack Podcast, episode 36.
I'm Mike.
Okay, I'm Adam. And we're going to talk about game stuff.
Yes.
So what about the buoy? What about the buoys?
Well, apparently the boys are going to be coming to Call of Duty, so you get Homelander, Black Noir, Starlight.
Who cares? I'm just kidding. Honestly, I watched The Boys up to season 2, and I was like, through season 2, I'm like, I can't do this. I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah. So mix that with Call of Duty, I'm like, I don't give a shit. But that's just me.
What I've noticed, at least with this, I think it's cool, just because you don't see stuff like that, at least with the boys.
You're right, I
can-
agree, but it's also odd to have superheroes in a army war game.
It was also weird to see Goku and John Wick in Fortnite.
I agree, but that's evolved beyond what it was before, so it's so far gone that it makes sense now.
Yeah.
It's just like an amalgamation of all the games coming together in one big old sandbox.
Okay, fair enough.
You take your toys out of one box and you put them in another so they can play with everybody, and then you put them back in the box when you're done.
I can see Black Noir fitting just because of the way his suit is.
Yes.
Maybe Homelander, but Starlight's kind of weird. What are the things that I found interesting? Well, not really. People are already complaining. They're wondering if Black Noir they're gonna have a problem with Black Noir like Fortnite had with, I don't remember what the hell the skin was. But the character blended in with the background so well that you couldn't see them, so they had to adjust the skin afterwards.
Right.
So that there was like some type of border around them.
That's interesting. Good point. That is absolutely possible.
Fortnite, I can see the border thing, but Call of Duty, I doubt that they're gonna do that though, because that's the whole premise behind it. Don't they have like have that hide as an object mode or whatever the hell it's called? Or is that a different game?
I don't know if Fortnite has it. They probably have at this point a mode for it. If not, I'd be surprised. But you are thinking of Prop Hunt, I believe.
Yes. Doesn't Call of Duty have something like that? Or is that a different game?
I think it's Call of Duty 4. They have Prop Hunt. Like,
Mm-hmm.
obviously they're like private servers or whatever, and they're not actually from Activision. But someone did mod Prop Hunt into Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
Officially, I don't know.
I didn't even know that those were mods. I thought it was an actual like feature in the game.
Yeah, it's an old source mod for fuck. Why can't I think of it now? Because I got excited that it's got a sequel finally. Counter-Strike.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it was an old mod for Counter-Strike. It was called Trouble in Terrorist Town. Or no, I'm sorry. Trouble in Terrorist Town was its own game mod, which forked off and became Prop Hunt as well.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. So the Call of Duty thing actually kind of started with a leak, and then the boys, Vought Industries, like the Twitter account that comes from the show, basically confirmed it. But with those leaks, also since they came from TikTok, the the boys' TikTok account also leaked that Homelander was coming to Mortal Kombat 1 as a character, which makes sense. But before that, people were speculating that Homelander and Omni-Man from Invincible, the comic book and the show on Netflix, was going to be in Mortal Kombat 1 as well. Now they have confirmation of Homelander, basically, so they're like, oh, Omni-Man's definitely going to be in it now. No confirmation on that yet, but that's speculation. But whoever runs that TikTok account is probably in trouble.
I can definitely picture those two characters in there, just because of their nature. Like it's gory as shit. It's not like it's Superman. You're not expecting it to be like the Killing Joke or something like that. But
same studio. It's not Injustice.
Yeah. But that would be easy enough to merge the properties, though. Just you got to get permission.
I mean, they're under the same umbrella. It's all Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, I think that's how they... if this is official and they are coming out, that is how they will at least have Homelander.
Yay! I'm just trying to figure out. Like, granted, I don't know how the character DLCs worked when they brought in like the Jason Voorhees and Leatherface and all of them and the other ones.
And Terminator.
Right. If there's like any specific storyline that was added onto it or not.
No, they were just extra characters.
Okay. So then I can see that easily happening then. But at the same time, where the style of this reboot is like old Japan type of stuff, kind of hard to picture those Homelander in that scene.
Well, it depends on where you're looking at in the game. Some of it takes place in Outworld. Some of it takes place on Earth, different areas. I mean, you think Johnny Cage's mansion is somewhere in Japan?
Fair enough. I didn't think about Johnny Cage. I was just like, fuck. How are they gonna do that? I thought they were going for like old timey feel.
No, just the story itself is a reboot. Like they're taking the old story and then taking the concept of Liu Kang becoming the god of everything and rewriting time to fix things, I guess, or suit things better. They're just restarting.
Cool.
Yeah. Woohoo! I'm more interested in just the story itself and seeing how that comes out. There's been a lot of complaints about Mortal Kombat's animation for some reason.
Why?
Just some people on Twitter were complaining that it looks janky. I don't know why I keep saying Twitter. I gotta get off there and stop reading shit. All it is people bitching and complaining. But it was just, animators were saying, why do the animations look weird or off or like it's janky? And then they were just like, some people were speculating its style. Some people were speculating that it's just poorly animated. I personally don't know. I think it looks okay. It fits Mortal Kombat. It doesn't look odd. Wait till you play the game.
does I'm the average Joe, and I'm looking at trailers and stuff, and it doesn't look. I don't see anything sticking out to me, so it does what it's supposed to.
It looks like Mortal Kombat to me.
Yeah, basically.
You know what doesn't look like Mortal Kombat?
What?
Yuji Naka going to jail. I think his saga is finally coming to an end.
Oh, Jesus.
In a Japanese. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, wasn't his lawyers trying to appeal the decision to try and like lower the stakes on it?
Yeah, and I think that's how he got down to what he's at now, which he's serving 2.5 years in prison with 4 years of probation, and he has to pay fines of like 2 million yen with an additional 1.71 million in yen for quote unquote additional charges. And this is coming from the Japanese Yahoo site.
It's still a lot of money for us, but it's about 15,000, a little under 15,000.
Well, damn. All right then. Still though, play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. It's unfortunate.
Pretty much, and he didn't even make any money off these deals, so.
He shouldn't be conducting insider trading. If he didn't do that, he could still be working on Sonic.
Pretty much.
Ah, well.
Sorry, buddy.
Let's close the book on that chapter now.
Yep.
That's one story completed, at least. We're writing the final chapters of the FTC one.
Well, talk about Sonic.
What about him?
Sega's abandoning blockchain games?
Yeah, I got excited when I read that. I'm like, finally they get it. It's about time they paid attention. Oh man, I wish I. It's one of the Sega bosses. I was gonna say I don't remember who this guy is, but he's one of the bosses of Sega. Shuji Utsumi confirmed that they're not gonna follow blockchain anymore, and I like his quotes for what he said. He said, "The action in play-to-earn games is boring. What's the point if games are no fun? Why do you want to play a game if your goal is to just do one specific thing so you can get something from it, and you're not really enjoying the game?"
Fair enough. Now I'm not exactly understanding what their idea was for the blockchain in games. What was the purpose? Just like you play to earn a unique item, or what?
It was another NFT thing. Yeah, you play the game, you do something specific, or you play it in a certain way, and you earn NFTs. And you can turn those NFTs into money, or you can sell them to other people, and you're the only one who has that unique one, or whatever. Just shit like that. You're playing the game so that way you can get those things. You can turn those things into money in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
That's the idea. At least in theory. In practice, every single one that has come out has been a piece of shit. And the idea of designing a game around that whole system is just not feasible.
Yeah, I think
straight up dumb, if you ask me.
Yeah. I think if that was the main point of it, yeah, that's dumb as shit. But I could see something like that working in like a Destiny setting, or
Don't do that.
some type of MMO.
Don't ruin the game. An MMO, sure, but like even then, it's NFTs themselves are it's a joke.
Yeah.
So good on Sega for wisening up and saying, yeah, we're not going to do that. Focus more on Sonic. They did well on the last game. Oh, they filed a trademark recently for not for a game specifically, but they filed a trademark for the title Sonic and Friends.
Yay, they bring
No
back
idea
the
if that means anything. What do you mean bringing back the Friends? They just had an update or a DLC or whatever for Sonic Origins that brought Amy to the game too, and I think they put Knuckles in some levels. But then they got the next Sonic game that's coming out where it's 4-player running at the same time.
Well, no, I was trying to make the joke where, like, at one point it was something titles were like Sonic and Friends or Associates or something, and then they just straight up dropped the and Friends and just made it all about Sonic.
See, when I said Sonic and Friends, all I thought of was the Garfield cartoon, and I just thought of like the theme song, and at the end where he goes Garfield and Friends. We need more Garfield games.
Oh Jesus! Were there Garfield games?
Yeah. There's a pretty infamous kart racer for Garfield.
Why don't I remember this?
It only came out a couple of years ago too.
Oh, it was
It's
recent.
tough.
I thought you were
Yeah.
talking like when we were younger. I'm like, the fuck?
Well, they had to have had Garfield games. You know what? Talk about something just like flashing back. I have vivid memories of playing some sort of Garfield game on the Game Gear. I'm going to look this up and find it and see if my memories are not failing me. I swear there is. Garfield game. Game Gear. Yeah! Garfield, Caught in the Act. That's the game.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah, man. Aha. I'm not that old yet. I still remember.
You're not go crazy. Okay. Yep. All right. I don't remember it, but I see that it did have a game. I'm like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm. As far back as our childhood, at least, they've been putting games out here and there. I guess as time's gone on too. Interesting.
Now here's my question.
Uh-oh.
The talking about games from our past. Do you think this is one of those that Garfield game is a statistic and is in one of those games that lost to the sands of time?
Yes. And I only say that because it's cartridge based, unfortunately, and oh my god, dude, and like looking at emulators and ROMs like I've done, I don't recall ever seeing a Game Gear emulator or any of the games, unless I'm looking in the wrong places.
Oh damn.
So that just kind of aids your point.
Uh-huh. Alright, so what we're talking about is
What we're hinting at here.
yeah. Apparently, the study came out. Basically, the Video Game History Foundation basically said that 87% of classic video games have basically been lost to time and are not available to be played at this point, just because there's no way to convert them.
Yep.
So if you were looking to play a classic Atari game, most likely it's not gonna happen.
Unless you've got the system, the games, and a TV to run that shit, more than likely you're not going to be able to play them.
But that sucks. The numbers, it's more. We don't even have 20% of our gaming history to fall back on.
Yet no period. Like in their study, they specifically pointed out no period in video games' inception in history has it ever cracked 20%. That's sad. We're losing out on a lot of history ever since like video games became a big deal.
Yeah. So now that we think about it, where we were talking about how, hey, these games are coming to like Game Pass and shit like that, and us not having a physical copy, these companies have a digital copy, so it's really on them to keep that record.
You're right, it is. But we also saw what happened with the 3DS in the store. Once that went down, they didn't have... you can't buy those games anymore. We mentioned it at the time, but Gerard the Completionist, he bought every single game on the 3DS store and put them all on like backups and stuff. And after he did that, he donated it to the Video Game History Foundation. So that way there is a record of those games. At least the history of the 3DS store is intact. You have to use that thing to play them, but at least we have it so we can look back on them.
Right.
And it's just like... it's like the Game Foundation said too, is that this is a point where we need to have these libraries and archives just to be able to preserve that history. I mentioned this when we were recording it yesterday too, that sure, we've got companies like Nintendo who are putting some things on their digital services where like you can play old NES games, the Super NES games, and even Sega Genesis games. But those games that they have on there are few and far between. What's cool is that they have a decent mix of like Japanese games too that we haven't played here, as well as like a couple different versions of games that we did get here.
Right.
But again, it's minimal. They have a huge backlog from the first couple generations of consoles that we're just never really going to see the games again. And to be able to have that part of history, a lot of people are like turning to ROMs and emulators, which is a gray area market because technically it's not legal, but it's also not illegal in a way, but you
They're
can
not
still get in
really
trouble because it's
selling it.
copyright.
Right.
You're not selling it.
I don't know. I think at that point it's where, and well, the conversation we had on the last podcast where the investors call, where they were talking about they didn't exactly announce the Switch 2, but if and when it does come out, that you're going to be able to use the same account, and people are speculating the games are going to be able to translate over.
Yeah.
That's a
They said
step
that
in the right
they're
direction.
planning to carry the libraries over, which you're right. It is a step in the right direction, but this is all new generation stuff.
Right.
We're still losing a giant chunk of history because there's no way to convert it. The
Right.
best that they could do is hope that they have like floppy disks from the old computers that they have the source code on, so that way they can
Right.
take that and try to translate it to the systems now.
Yeah.
If they have some sort of hard copy like that, that'd be excellent. Because then they can put it in their libraries and stuff like that, so that way we have it still. Another thing that the Video Game History Foundation suggested was like, why not have an archive at a library? Like, I was reading through the article again today just for fun, and they said that's where like you can put these things in a library. It's not that you can check out the games or make copies of them there, but you have a place for them that you can go back to it, so that way you can see it and play it and understand it and research it and get an idea of what games were like at the time.
Right.
If you have a spot to preserve that thing, then we can keep that history alive and learn from it. But we
Right.
don't have these in place.
Which, in all honesty, especially with how much video games has come to be part of our culture, people
It's
really need to.
exploded.
Yeah, it's not like a niche thing anymore. It's
No, hell no. You can ask anybody on the street and they'll play some sort of video game. And when I say that, I guarantee you that a lot of people who hear video games, they're going to think consoles and stuff. But you got to remember, games are on phones. Next to everybody's got a phone.
Yeah,
Video games have extended far beyond what they were before. It wasn't just PC and consoles. Now it's everywhere.
exactly. And even where like I remember the cliche statement where, oh, video games and TV are gonna rot your brain. Well, look at where it's led us now. There's a lot of artists, a lot of engineers. There's freaking pilots for the military drones. That all came about because of video games. The possibility of stuff like that happening.
There's a lot you can learn from games, especially like hearing from the devs specifically too, because it's not just the gameplay itself. Like a lot of indie games are really cool because they have either one mechanic that they really focus on and can nail down, and like they use it throughout the entire game,
Right.
or the games themselves tell a story, or it's like an outlet for them too. And it's just, that's what makes great games, because you don't realize what's going on until you play it, and it's like, oh, it hits me some certain way, and then you like get into it and you say, oh, it's telling you something.
Right.
It's just another storytelling medium. It's another entertainment medium. It's another artistic medium,
Right.
and they should be preserved.
Agreed. I at this point, in my opinion, I think video games are no different than a book. There's a purpose to them. There's an enjoyment to them. You use your imagination to a certain degree.
Yes. Agreed. More needs to be done for this.
Yes, but I am glad at the idea. Like we talk about this, but I don't know how many people actually realize it. Like local libraries actually have video games.
Yes, they do.
So I doubt they're gonna have like the brand new version. But if you ever wanted to try a game, go to your local library, see if they have it in stock. Well, I'm probably gonna get beat to hell from the last person, but
if Xbox could take all of their games in a digital format of some sort, or if Nintendo could take their old NES games and Super NES games and find a way to digitize them so that way they can be somewhere on their servers, and just make some sort of service to where you have access to their library of games or whatever, they
Right.
would make a killing. Like even just on GameCube games alone, there have been so much fervor for people wanting GameCube games or games from that era on the Switch,
Right.
or any sort of library that they can access them. Because the GameCube was like a beloved console and had some really excellent games that just, if you don't have that stuff, there is no way to play it anymore.
Right. And then at some point, like especially if you have like specific servers for certain things, eventually with how finite these games are, once they're converted to to a digital format, eventually that time frame is going to be done, and you're going to know this is what it's going to cost to maintain the server. You can have it as a specific add-on. Hey, you want access to these games? You have to pay such and such amount of money.
That's also another thing where like cloud comes in, because we've kind of changed how things are stored and transferred now. Because remember, it used to be discs, and then it was all download this here, and you have to have this much space for things, and you had to have so many hard drives to fit everything. And now it's kind of moved beyond how big is this to what is my connection speed and how well am I connected to the server or whatever. So that way you can have things running smoothly. It's just another step up. And
agreed.
This might, if you want to lead into the FTC thing, this could lead into that, where, like I said, cloud gaming is a big deal, and Microsoft kind of has a leg up in that market because they've been... Actually, Sony dropped the ball on it, because way back when in the PS3 or PS4 era, they had partnered with a company in a handful of areas to build their cloud network. They started it first, kind of, and got like the ball rolling, but they never went anywhere with it. It wasn't until years later that Microsoft started doing their xCloud thing and then tied it in with Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass and stuff. So now, because they actually invested into it and have been working on it for the last handful of years now, Microsoft has a leg up in cloud gaming.
That bit I didn't know, and shame on Sony then. Even more reason why they shouldn't be bitching. And
because it was kind of an unexpected news thing too, because it was during one of their, I think it was one of their E3 productions, that they were like, here's what's going on with PS4, and we're partnering with these people to do this. And I think it went over well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But there wasn't really anything that came from that, besides maybe, like, I think you'll have to help me out with like the nomenclature for Sony, but it's like they have their own remote play stuff, right?
Right.
I think that's as far as they were able to build up with it, and then stopped. And then I think they focused... My opinion is that they started investing in their studios and buying studios, so that way they can build up their catalog.
Right. And granted, I don't know where it went from there, but when they first started doing their cloud, I want to say it started with the PlayStation 3 and the PSP, but you had to be under the same Wi-Fi network in order for you to access the PlayStation 3 games on your PSP.
Speaking of the PSP, people want a revival of the PSP, but keep going.
I would like that too. That'd be pretty
really
cool. Oh, I loved my PSP.
Okay.
I don't like the idea of the PS Vita. PSP is the closest. The PSP was the closest to a Game Boy, in my opinion, to any handheld console at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I it might have been the PS Vita, but I'm going to stick with the PSP and be wrong.
I'm going to go. For me, in my opinion, it's the PSP. I hate the Vita, just because it was. I want to say it was smaller, but it's also way too sensitive to the point that it had like a touchpad in the back, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. Mm-hmm. I don't want to figure out all this shit. Sorry. If I'm having a handheld game, I want it to be like a Game Boy. I want it to be simple.
Right.
But yeah, if they do bring it back, yay.
I don't see them doing it. They've got other things that they're working on, like PSVR and their new, I almost said haptic, but it's not. It's their new accessibility controller. I don't think they're working on a secondary console. There's some rumors floating around actually about a PS5 Slim, saying that it's going to be priced at $400.
Ooh.
Still rumors, nothing solid, no retail SKUs or anything like that popping up yet, but supposedly it's on good assumption that that's going to happen.
We'll just have to wait and see.
If it doesn't anytime soon, they'll start doing it for holiday season.
You really think that?
It'd be really weird to put it in summer because they're more focused on the games that are coming out in summer or at the tail end of summer, like Starfield. It wouldn't make sense to put out the PS5 to try and overshadow that because they would need a game to pair with it.
Right.
Now, if Xbox didn't put out a Slim and Starfield was coming out, actually, Xbox did something more fucked up. They raised the price of Game Pass before Starfield's coming out. Because they knew that it was going to be a big game and people might want to sub to Game Pass or whatever to be able to play without having to, quote-unquote, buy it, even though you're buying into the idea of playing it. They raised the price by like $1 or $2.
Yeah, that's a bit of a douchebag move. At least it's only $1 or $2, but even then, that's kind of douchey.
It's business, man. I mean, it makes financial sense to do so. You know you're going to get an influx of people. Why not just bump the price a little bit? But, to their credit, they did bring back the new subs to Game Pass can get it for $1 for the first month. And they also, I don't know if they ever stopped conversions, but they are doing conversions of Xbox Live Gold to Game Pass subscription. But it's not on a 1-to-1 basis anymore. It's like on a 1-to-3 basis or something like that. So it's like every
Xbox
3
Live
months.
Gold?
Yeah.
No shit. Okay.
But they've changed it now to the point where if you got Game Pass, you also have Gold.
Yeah, so they're eventually going to do away with it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I was surprised it was still around.
Yeah, man.
Because I remember that just having, and that's why we never even bothered with our Xbox 360 was we had to pay to have the internet service. I'm like, fuck that.
See, I thought that too, but you also realize that money theoretically is going into those services and upgrading them and keeping them running and whatnot. And I will say, Xbox Live had a solid service.
Yeah.
That thing basically never went down. Connections on it always felt good, especially playing Halo.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
I can't because I'm a Sony boy. I'll bitch
Xbox also wasn't hacked or anything, so.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, remember that?
I forgot about that.
Some dark times at
their
Sony.
their answer was like, hey, you get to pick a free game out of this selection. Woo-hoo.
No. You got 2 games. Whoa.
I know, right? I'm like, yeah, your Social Security probably got fucked, but hey, here's a game.
Yeah, people got your credit card information and they know who you are and stuff, but you can have 2 free games.
And they weren't even good games either.
No.
I'm trying to remember what the hell they were. Because I think one of them was, at the time, was God of War.
I think one of them was Infamous as well.
Yeah. Yeah. God of War, Infamous, and I think Little Big Planet.
That sounds about right.
That was fucked up. And all those games were old at that point.
And now look at Sony, the video game market leader. At least according to the FTC trials and stuff, like all the information that came out. I mean, yeah, I just look around. Of course, they're the market leader in video games right now, but still, Microsoft has admitted it during the trials.
Yeah. Well, talk about the trials. You want to elaborate?
We got our answer, finally. There's speculation that it was going to happen quick. Like, the judge even said she planned to do it quickly, but people thought Friday, didn't come. Monday came, no answer, and then it finally came on Tuesday, I believe. Tuesday or Wednesday. Did I write it down? Where's my notes? I'm going to say it came out yesterday. Because that's when I put all the news on.
I would. Yeah, I think so. Because I remember you saying if they weren't expecting it yesterday or Monday, we probably wouldn't hear about it till Friday.
Yeah, by the end of the week, and it came out Wednesday, like around noonish, afternoon sometime. Today's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tuesday. I'm so fucking off. What's wrong with me? Sorry, it came out yesterday. Yesterday was Tuesday.
Yeah,
I'm good. So yeah, the trial went in Microsoft's favor.
Yep.
Anyone who was following it, especially the 5 days of, I don't even know if you'd call it litigation, but just Microsoft and or Microsoft's lawyers and the FTC's lawyers going back and forth. If anybody paid attention to that, it was very clear that Xbox was going to win it after a couple days.
Yeah, it wasn't. It really. Nobody was expecting them not to. It
would have been more of a surprise if they didn't.
Right.
I mean, they had a fair shot at the FTC had a fair shot of winning the appeal.
Yeah.
The only problem was with Sony's lawyers, they were arguing for Sony and not for the consumer. And that's ultimately what kind of was their undoing.
Yeah.
Specifically, the judge had said, in her ruling, she said, and I quote, FTC's heavy reliance on Jim Ryan's testimony is unpersuasive, and that Microsoft's Call of Duty deals for Nintendo Switch and Cloud are perhaps bad for Sony, but good for Call of Duty gamers and the future of gamers.
Yeah.
So, focused a little too much on Sony and didn't really pay attention to what else is going on. In my opinion, they probably should have put a little more focus on cloud gaming as well, because we were talking about that earlier. It's just one of those things that the CMA was on the right track when they said no and pointed out cloud gaming.
Yeah.
But nobody else picked it up or paid attention to that. They're more focused on Call of Duty and worrying that Xbox was going to take it away.
Yeah.
Despite all the stuff saying that they weren't going to, and getting up in front of the judge and saying, you have my word, here's what we're doing, here's our plans, and trying to work with them this whole time, and Sony's still saying no. Xbox had all the good faith in the world.
And I'm sure even if they went into that direction, now that like you told me about where at one point Sony was actually had the leg up and had the opportunity to do the exact same thing Microsoft did, I'm pretty sure they would have came up with that argument and said, listen, they invested it a long time ago. They did nothing with it. That's their fault, not ours.
If they invested more into it and brought it up alongside everything else, might have been a more solid argument for them.
Right. So, shame on Sony. And this is coming from a PlayStation fanboy.
But to be fair, let's not start tooting Microsoft's horn either. This is a multi-billion-dollar company buying another multi-billion-dollar company. It's not really something to be happy about because now we're getting more monopolization, even though, as far as I understand, they're going to be separate but equal. Yeah. I believe, I wish I wrote this down, but there was some entity that was like, Microsoft can get sued if they acquire Activision Blizzard and then restructure them.
Oh, damn.
Which I don't think that is going to happen.
I don't think so either.
But today, the FTC filed an appeal.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm. They were not expected to appeal the decision either. People were like, they're not going to bother with it, but they did. They filed an appeal today.
I want to see how that's going to happen just because...
It's probably going to get struck down.
Maybe. But even then, think about it. If that holds up the merger, doesn't
if that
Microsoft
holds up,
have
that's gonna throw a wrench in the whole deal, and they still might walk away from it. They still plan the closing date for the deal is still the 18th so far. If that falls through for any reason, though, Microsoft has to pay $3 billion to Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get at. I'm like, they have to close on the 18th. If they don't. Whether it's after the fact or they don't do it at all, that's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
They have to pay them $3 billion for that, and the merger will potentially be open to renegotiations. So they might lose out a little more.
Yeah.
Who knows what that would look like? We got to wait and see what happens with the appeal. Again, the idea is that the appeal's not going to go through, or it's not going to hold up, but
yeah,
I don't know. We shall see.
I'm gonna correct the conversation that we had yesterday, and where I was about to say where you said it's not good for a $1 billion company to buy another $1 billion company. I was about to say, well, it's good for the shareholders.
Yeah,
they saw a spike yesterday in the stocks, but I'm sure it's not looking
always
good today.
Well, I didn't check it. You know what? Let me pull it up and see. I'll tell you how much it went.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as the FTC's, what am I saying? The judge's thing was red. Their stock price jumped, right?
Yeah, but like by the end of the day, it was like a total of $8.50 per share. But that's a lot of freaking money. Seeing as the shares themselves were like what, $90 a piece.
I don't know what it was before. Currently, it's 90. 89.56. It closed. It closed minus 1.6%. I guess it went down by $1.43.
Okay, yeah, because when at the time of the article that I was reading yesterday, it was sitting at around 91.26.
Yeah, so it went down a little today.
Yeah.
I cannot go farther back than today on the timeline, unfortunately.
Okay.
But it looks like it dipped first, and then it went up. It opened at 8 a.m. at 89.11 or 89.88.
Okay.
It was below what it was at $1.11. And then it closed today at just about at 90 even. At 9.45. Okay.
So shareholders aren't really all too concerned about the appeal.
Nah. When you got the backing of I almost said Xbox. When you got the backing of Microsoft for your company, it tends to look nice.
Mm-hmm.
Big Daddy Bill Gates.
Does he even have anything to do with Microsoft anymore? Didn't he just like?
I think he passed the reins of CEO, but I'm sure that he's still like on the board making decisions and stuff.
Ah, okay. Even then, he still has like a crap ton of shares and whatnot.
Dude's got more money than he knows what to do with. But at least he's doing the right thing and like funding philanthropy and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Didn't he come up with like water purification system where it takes like seawater or whatnot and converts it into drinkable water?
I don't know.
Without really
I haven't
like
heard about that one. I just know that he's like fighting against malaria or something to do with mosquitoes specifically.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, he's got the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It helps a lot of kids, I believe.
Right.
It's good stuff.
I still can't believe how nuts people got during the pandemic giving him shit. I'm like, dude, do you really know what this guy has done?
Oh, speaking of crazy. After the judgment was passed, the UK Regulatory Board, the CMA.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rub my eye. Can't see. Ugh. The CMA, if anyone doesn't remember what that stands for, it's the Competitions and Marketing Authority. They're the UK regulators for different deals and whatnot. They reached out to Microsoft and was like, "Hey, we're ready to renegotiate." After telling you no.
Because it was going to happen either way. It's just a matter of whether they're going to include their people or not.
Yep.
And
Microsoft agreed to at least to pause. What is it? Microsoft agreed to negotiate. They agreed to pause its appeal to renegotiate with the CMA. Right. I just like the CMA's little quote that they said about it. They said that they're ready to consider any proposals for Microsoft to restructure the transaction in a way that would address the concerns set out in our final report.
Yeah.
So it's basically, yeah, we'll talk to you, but you still got to play our game.
I'm sure they will to some degree. I guarantee there's going to be some palm greasing that we don't know about.
The thing is, I feel like they've addressed that already before that was even a thing.
Right.
But I mean, it's just given Xbox and Microsoft themselves a push to do more, which, what they did once the CMA put out the thing and said no because of cloud gaming. They were like, okay, we partnered with this company to bring cloud gaming possibilities and services to other countries in Europe.
Right.
So at least they're trying to make good on things.
So we'll have to wait and see how they go.
And even if it comes back with nothing, Xbox could find a way around it anyway.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, at this point, provided that the FTC's appeal does not go through, they are the only holdout.
And I'm sure at that point they'll probably do something similar to like when it's international for us. Some international countries were basically saying you can't do like microtransactions in their country or whatnot, and guess what happened? companies said, "Hey, we're not offering it to your country anymore. Sorry."
Mm-hmm.
That could be as easy as that.
Businessman.
Yep.
You got to play by their rules.
Your government doesn't like us. Guess what? You can't play with us unless you have a VPN. Oh yeah.
And sometimes you're not wrong. But anyway, that's the new chapter in this whole thing. We got our answer. Looked like it was good, and then FTC said, "Wait a minute!" So now we got to wait.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long, though. I imagine it's going to be probably by the weekend, if not by next week.
Oh, I'm
So
sure.
we'll see what happens. We'll come back next week for the new episode and be like, yeah, they didn't get it, or fuck, they got it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure by the time we record next time, the closing will have happened or not.
Ooh, shit, yeah. No. If we record on Tuesday at least, we'll be one day out from it. So we'll have some sort of answer as to what's happening. So it'll either be, we got some news that this is happening, or looks like the deal's going through.
Right. Yay!
I don't know why, but like I'm worried about like monopolization and them like closing their doors basically to putting games out on other platforms and stuff, but I'm oddly excited to hear what's going to happen just because we've been covering this for so long. Just like, I just want a final answer to see what happens.
I have to agree, to be honest. I think throughout like our discussions and stuff, like where I've said even if the deal goes through and they back out on what they do, the governments can go back in and say, all right, now you guys need to undo what you just did because you went against what you said. It's not like you can keep it together type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that sounds a bit better. I thought it was like once it's done, it's done. Haha, too bad, so sad.
Well, even after the 18th, there's still stuff that has to be addressed or figured out and whatnot, so it ain't over until it's over.
Mm-hmm.
68 billion fucking bucks.
Oh, fuck.
Ridiculous.
Want to know what else is over?
What?
The Evan Wells' reign at Naughty Dog is done?
Naughty Dog.
Yeah, I know, right?
The fuck is a Naughty Dog?
It's a
So what
Japanese
happened?
hot dog.
Ew.
But yeah, co-president of Naughty Dog, Evan Wells, announces retirement from the company.
Any reason, or he's just done? Tired?
He
Taking his ball and going home?
Yeah, pretty much. Basically, from the article that I read, he actually had been talking about it to people for the last year at least, and his co-president, he had been talking to about it even longer than that. Just for reference, people, if you're not aware who this guy is, he joined Naughty Dog back in '98, when they were developing Crash Bandicoot 3. Became president after founders Jason Rubin and Andy Gavin left in 2004, and basically has been president since. President, co-president, depending on what point during that time period.
I see you also put that he served as an executive producer for the Uncharted movie and the Last of Us TV series,
I had
which
no idea
just
that
got
was cool.
just got nominated for 24 Emmys.
No shit. I
Yeah,
didn't
man.
realize I got... Damn.
Mm-hmm. It was a good show. I watched the entire series. It was really good.
I have yet to watch it, but I want to.
I never played the games. I followed like the story of both of them and stuff because it was kind of interesting. But like the show was good.
Yeah.
Definitely worth watching.
Again, like we said, video games are part of our culture now. It's a lot bigger thing than most people give it credit for. But yeah, he's gonna. It didn't say if he's already left or if there's a specific date that he's leaving. His exact quote was, "Decision brings with it overwhelming and conflicting emotions, but I've come to realize that I'm content with my time at the studio. All that we've accomplished together over the last 25 years." Wow, that's a long time. He said, "I couldn't be more confident in Neil's ability to carry on running the studio." That's his co-president. Right time for me to provide the opportunity for him and others in the studio leadership team to steer the studio into a successful future. Jesus Christ.
You got
Uh,
there.
Eventually.
I'm proud of you.
But yeah,
That's crazy though. 25 years.
that's a long freaking time. Holy shit.
You say you did a lot of good considering where they're at now.
Yeah.
Dude deserves a rest. Deserves a break.
And it doesn't mean he's not gonna do stuff here and there. It's just he's not gonna be the president anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll probably still be producer on end up being producer on whatever projects that they're gonna come up with and stuff like that. But
I mean, I would not be surprised if he just retired and was like, I'm done. I'm good.
I'm very curious as to how much money they actually make that we can just say, yeah, I'm gonna walk away.
If the court documents from like The Last of Us's production and Horizon's production was anything, we can kind of have an idea.
No shit. Okay.
I mean, what, a studio of 200 to 300 people and they were spending a couple million per game.
Mm-hmm.
Naughty Dog's probably around the same idea. Yeah.
Give me some of that money.
Oh, if only it was that easy.
I know, right? But good for him. Thank you for your service, and I hope you're on to bigger and better things.
Thanks. I'll let him know you said that.
Watch him be listening. I'm like, yeah,
That'd be pretty cool.
it would.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him and ask him for an interview. Just like catch up on the history of Naughty Dog and what he's done.
That would be cool.
You want me to do it?
Try it.
Okay. We'll see what we can get.
I will.
It would be a
shit
cool
myself.
conversation.
Yes, I will shit myself if we can get him on here.
That'd be cool.
I'll just come on with my favorite Crash Bandicoot shirt on. I don't care if I have to make it. I'll fanboy it.
Go for it. Fuck. I was gonna say something and I lost it now. Something else that I was at least excited about or happy about that I didn't even know until you put it down, and then I started seeing it everywhere. Was fucking Vampire Survivors couch co-op is also coming to the Xbox. What?
Yeah,
I knew it was coming to the Switch, but it's coming to Xbox too.
I thought of you.
Yeah.
Yay.
They're also upgrading the engine too.
Are they really?
Mm-hmm.
It's that popular?
They're upgrading the engine so that it can do what the developer wants it to do more smoothly.
Yeah.
And I think like how they have it right now, they have to add to it, so they're changing or upgrading the engine to be able to do so.
Okay.
I haven't read enough to find out what exactly they are trying to do, but I believe in the next update with the couch co-op stuff, it will be done then.
Oh, cool. I just find it funny the quote that they give as to why they're doing it. The fact that they said, felt a bit awkward that the game's for only one vampire survivor, seeing as it's called Vampire Survivors.
It's a good way to put it. I didn't read any of these. You want to read them to me, or should I read through them and just get excited as I go?
Go ahead. Open it up like a kid at Christmas.
Let's see. Part of the free update on August 17th on all platforms, including Switch. You'll be able to play with up to... I thought that said 4 new people. Well, with up to 4 people, unlock more achievements too. I haven't even got the new ones yet. New weapons and more. You'll share a single screen, of course. But what is the boundaries to it? Select a different character to play. Leveling up will be a bit different too. The XP bar will function the same way, but each level up will only be granted to one player. Ooh, that's going to be rough. As each member of the group is rotated through in order. That's interesting, considering how the flow of the game is. The fact that it's on a rotating thing.
So if I'm understanding correctly, even though it's a couch co-op, you're playing one player at a time. Is what they're saying.
No, all 4 people are on the screen. What it's saying is like the XP bar fills up, and it dings for the next level. Yeah. Let's say you got 3 people playing. You got 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah.
Number 1 gets the first upgrade for the level. Next level up, number 2 gets the level up, and they get to pick the upgrade. Next one's level 3. Third person gets to pick that, and so on.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. well, when somebody dies, they turn into a coffin and revive over time. But if that coffin isn't protected, they tease something might happen. That's interesting.
They turn into a vampire.
You know what? Here's the funny thing. If that happened, that would be the game's first vampire. The game is called Vampire Survivors. You're vampire killers or whatever.
Yeah.
Not a single vampire in the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I really need to. Really need to find a time to play this game.
It's so good. It's such a good time waster, and it's in like 10 to 15 minute sprints if you're doing really well. 5 if you're not. It's so good. Everybody should at least try the game once. It's a lot of fun.
It's still downloaded on my phone, so I should start it soon.
If and when, I'm going to say big if, it comes to Sony, because for some reason they're focused on the Switch and Xbox right now, and PC, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, you can fucking play it on your computer. Buy it on Steam. It's always on sale. It's like $3 instead of $5.
I can't run Steam on my computer. It's that old.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, the hardware on it is bad. I was pissed. I was like, ooh, I can actually try some of this stuff.
Well,
Go to download Steam or even like the the Microsoft Game Store or whatever.
Mhm.
Because that's my closest foray right now, or that I was willing to do to dive into the Xbox world.
Mhm.
But it was like, yeah, your hardware does not support these games. I'm like, son of a
old
bitch.
man.
Listen, for a $200 computer, I'm not complaining. It does its job.
Well, you need a Switch or an Xbox. Unless you want to play it on your phone. I would recommend, if you're going to do that, link a controller to it, because the touch controls that don't do it for me.
Now, my question is where eventually they're gonna try because I remember the article saying that it's like it's gonna be a completely different animal if they try to do like the online co-op.
Mhm.
How cool would that be? The mobile can cross-platform with the Xbox or whatnot, so we literally could play and it would never need to come to PlayStation.
That would be cool. If they somehow manage to work that out, that'd be cool. I'm down. Give it to me.
Make it happen.
Give me more. I love that game. Any more reason to play it?
Well,
I think
yeah.
all we got left on the list is the Minecraft achievements. Since
Yeah.
Vampire Survivors is getting more achievements, what's happening in the achievement world?
Well, apparently a Minecraft player set a record. He got 26 achievements with one arrow shot from a crossbow.
Breaking news from the front desk. This just in.
This was a pretty cool little tidbit. Reddit user immediate lie 5119 apparently shared a clip showing that him focusing on several Minecraft enemies. They're basically, I'm assuming he had to have set this up himself, type of thing. But
If he's hitting redstone switches with a crossbow, yeah, there's more than likely he set it up to trigger doing that.
right. And then like the enemies are stacked on top of each other in like a one space gap. He was able to view it well enough that he could shoot one arrow out of the crossbow, kill a whole bunch of enemies, go as far as it can, trigger redstones, which allowed it to chain up until he got like 26 achievements.
You look confused. Redstone is basically like wiring.
Okay.
So when it's attached to like switches and nodes, you turn that switch or node on, and it sends power through redstone.
Okay. All right, so that makes sense. All right. This is coming from somebody who's never played Minecraft, so bear with me. And
I'll have Amelia teach you.
That'd be cool. Well, yeah. Even after achieving that, where people were giving him props and all that stuff, he's like, "Yeah, I think I can tweak it to get another 2 out of it," type of thing.
26 isn't good enough. I need 28.
So good on him. That must have taken a lot of fucking time, though. Holy shit.
I wonder how much time you put into planning it and figuring it out.
Yeah. Trial and error. If it didn't work, what did you have to do to fix it? But Cool for you. I gotta watch that video at some point. I gotta do a lot of things apparently.
Speaking of checking things out, I'm hearing about a game more and more that is making me interested.
What?
It's called Dave the Diver.
Okay.
You are a diver. You go and spear fish and catch fish and whatnot during the day, and apparently at night you open up a sushi restaurant and sell sushi. And I guess the further along you go, the bigger fish you get, the more expensive fish you get, and you can end up meeting fish people and other things under the water, and there's more than just that going on. So I'm like, okay, this is sounding more interesting, because like seeing the fishing part and the running the sushi restaurant stuff, I was like, oh, that looks pretty neat. And then I heard people talking about the other stuff. I'm like, oh, now I'm really interested. What's all this about?
He's not gonna pull a Sweeney Todd, is he, with mer people?
I don't know. I haven't played it. But the game's only been out for like maybe a week or two, and they've sold 1 million copies already.
Oh, damn.
It's a little indie game, and it's doing really well.
Oh, that's cool. Just looking at the different pictures and stuff.
Oh, I was wrong. It did not come out a couple weeks ago. It came out in June. At the end of June. Okay, so I'm not too far off. Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah, this may or may not be a game that's where we want to play.
It's gotten a lot of good buzz. I've seen some gameplay, but it looks fun. So I'm definitely going to have to check it out.
What I need to find out is where it's available. Because I know it's Steam, but anything else?
I think that might be it for now. I haven't heard anything else about it except for Steam.
Boo.
Yeah. Just want to spotlight it. It's a little indie game doing really, really well. It's cool.
So if
you need more.
Yeah. So if your hardware can handle it, take it. Let me live through you. Live vicariously through you.
There you go.
There we go.
Good job.
There you go. That's your interaction, people. Play the game and tell us what you think.
I need to know. It's killing me.
If we get enough views, maybe I'll suck it up and buy a brand new computer. And try it myself.
Bought this one not long ago.
I know, right? Fine. If we get 1,000 views, I'll do it. Or listens. Yeah.
That okay. Very lofty, but we'll try.
Good goals.
It's always good to have goals.
Yep.
Something to work on or work towards.
Yeah, but that was good. So ready to close this out?
I was gonna say who made Dave the Diver, but I want to see. Developed by Mint Rocket. Yeah. Players control Dave, an obese diver, as he collects fish, solves quests, and manages a sushi restaurant. Has elements of management, action, adventure, and role-playing video games. Yes, it does.
Why is he gotta be obese, man? The hell?
Hey, I didn't make the game. Ask them. It must not be affecting him if he's going diving and running a sushi restaurant.
Definitely has to use a weight belt, that's for sure. Because from my personal experience, we don't sink very well. No matter how hard you try.
Oh, you're fine. You're still pretty.
Oh, damn right I'm pretty. I'm sexy.
Did your wife tell you that too?
Yes.
Okay, good.
It's not true?
I'm not her. I don't know. Go ask her yourself.
She's already asleep.
Oh, well. Sorry. Oh,
yeah, I'm sure you are.
Are we going to play some Destiny tomorrow? Try for the Catalyst?
Ooh.
Or you basically... Oh, no, I can't. Megan's home tomorrow. I think since we're not going to do it tonight, we might start Season 3 of The Witcher.
Ooh.
And then not watch it ever again because Cavill is not going to be Geralt anymore.
I'm surprised they even got him to come back for Season 3.
I think it was probably tough for him to want to, but he wanted to, like, keep it authentic.
Yeah.
Or it was, man, I don't remember if it was like during season 3 that he announced like I'm not coming back, and it was a lot of that was due to creative differences. Like he wanted to be as authentic and close to the books as as possible,
Yeah.
and the showrunner was like, we got our own ideas, and they just didn't see eye to eye on it. So he's like, I'm good, because if as we've talked about before, he's a big old nerd, and then Amazon
absolutely.
scooped him up for the Warhammer show.
Hey, I hope it works out for him. I like his take on a lot of the characters he's played. He's definitely true to geekdom as possible.
He's a big nerd, and I love it.
Oh, absolutely. What I would love to see, and I know this is a dream, is to see Disney pick him up for Marvel.
I don't want to see that.
Why?
I don't know. It's like when actors become superheroes in these movies, there's this stink on them that they can't seem to get rid of, because that kind of goes with them into other roles too. It's like, oh, they were this superhero, and that's kind of like what you see them as.
Yes, no. I think some characters have gotten away with it, because like, look at Christian Bale. Granted, we think about him as Batman, but we also think of him as the guy from Psycho and other roles that he's played.
But that felt like less of a comic book movie and more of a grounded, real, like it was focused on Batman. It wasn't a superhero movie,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know. I would still want to see him.
I'm not trying
Just
to rain
because-
on your parade.
No, that's all right. I want to see him play like a version of Captain Britain, because ever since like people
Who?
have been fan casting him, the Britain's version of Captain America. I know they have the Agent Carter version.
Oh, did you say Captain Britain?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said Captain Brain.
No.
It's like, what the fuck is that? No, let him be Captain Canuck.
Oh fuck! I forgot about that.
And I'm not even a superhero person. I don't care about comics.
I keep forgetting Canada had their own Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew about Captain Britain, I knew about Red Guardian, but I completely forget
Hang on.
about Cap.
Who? What the hell's Red Guardian?
That's Russia's Captain America.
That makes sense. Did
Those
Japan have their own too?
I have no idea. I'm sure at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, I keep forgetting about that. I know why I keep forgetting about it, because at one point, Wolverine was also Captain Canuck, if I'm not mistaken.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, he is Canadian, but that's all I know. Okay, to answer your question earlier, yeah, I'm ready to wrap it up now.
Well, where can they find us?
Everywhere. I mean that jokingly and seriously. If you're not listening on the big ones, you were pretty much everywhere else, like Spotify, Apple, Google, working on YouTube still. Which I feel like I missed one. Anchor is no longer Anchor. It is now podcasters for Spotify or something like that. But we still have our own site on there for that. We are also we're on Threads now. I put
Oh, no shit.
Yep, I put the podcast thing on Threads. So now we're on Threads and Instagram. We're still on Twitter and Facebook. Ramblepack Pod and everything. Ramblepack Podcast on Facebook. Just search it. We're there.
Fuck, you're gonna make me start have to start working on other socials, aren't you?
Yeah, go for it. You can take over.
It was already enough that I swore I would never go outside of Facebook, and then I ended up getting this Discord, and now I'm gonna have to do Twitter, and God dear God.
I mean, you don't have to.
But we got our fan base. We need to appeal.
I wish I could use social media more. Just so I could, like, post on that stuff. But, like, it's just so tiring. But that's okay.
Because we love you guys. We do this for the love.
Well,
We do it for the love of the video games, and then...
yeah. I just like talking about video games. And I appreciate anyone who listens.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to bed now, so appreciation over.
Bye.
It's time to go to bed. It's late.
I agree.
Okay, good night.
Good night, everybody.